Friday for some of you. For the rest of you, it's happy holidays. It's the Eid celebration. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. I'm Olive Emodi hosting the show today. And I know, I think at this point, it's safe for our producers to go wide and our directors to go wide to show you that my colleagues are not currently on set. Who am I hosting this show with? Director, go on wide now. Anyway, you can see that I'm alone on the show. And I'm alone because the two gentlemen decided they wanted to walk into the set with swag. Who am I working with?
Yeah. Hello.
Morning, Olive. How are you?
Welcome back from your show.
Damsel, how are you?
Thank you
I'm
very
very
much.
fine. I'm very fine, sir. It's good to see you, sir.
It's okay.
Good to have you, sir.
It's good to have you.
These gentlemen, one of them has been away for 2 days, and
we missed him all.
But when I go and come back, now people tell me, no, Miss Benga did not miss you. You were not
I know.
at all.
I know.
This was doing Boys Club because the first day you left, Joe was here wailing on the show. But when I leave, you will like you
so I
don't.
was missed. My ovaries.
I mean, we missed you, man. and it hurts me so much that you came today, the last day of the week. I'm going to miss both of you because I always wish we don't go on breaks.
I'm happy to go on breaks. I'm happy to go on weekends. I'm happy to go on break, on weekends, and all that. Anyway, happy to be here. Today is a holiday for a special reason. Benga, do you want to tell why?
Yes, happy Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters out there celebrating. Today is that, you know, Christians always
The
ask,
big one.
which one are you
Killing
Salah. Are you killing animals for? And this is it. So if you have Muslim friends, brothers, sisters, feel free after the show, go and eat some
I don't know if people have seen this.
ram, and please hold your toothpick. There's a lot of meat that will be going around
Did
today.
you see that Instagram and TikTok reel that people have been jumping on, saying, me, when my Muslim friends tell me to do anything, knowing that Salah is around the corner. So there's this fella song that says, go right, go left, go back. So you then see the Christian person or the person from the other religion doing everything is like, I have to obey because Salah is around the corner. Just so you know, what goes around comes around. There is Salah now. Before we say Jack, it will be Christmas. I give who give me meat. If you don't give me Salah meat, don't express Christmas chicken.
Exactly. When it comes to Christmas, and they say, oh, is this the Christmas that you are killing chicken?
I say, no, it's not this Christmas. It's another one.
This one that we are killing lizard.
Anyway, there's also reports, there are reports that ram is very expensive.
Yes, yes.
So our reporter was on ground. He went into the market space. And just yesterday, while in the news room, we're talking about it very clearly. People are now opting for something else. And I heard camel. So people are going for camel because ram is expensive. Camel would give more meat. It's bigger. It can be shared by...
I didn't know camel can be eaten.
Of course.
I just learned about it yesterday.
The meat is chewy. Maybe you've even eaten camel
without knowing, right?
Without knowing from your suya.
Really?
It's kind of chewy and nice.
Have you eaten camel?
It's lovely. You will
love it. I knew it was going there.
You know, talking
weirdest
about
meat you've
the
eaten,
economic basis, like horse.
Horse. What's the weirdest meat you've eaten?
None.
I don't know if this one.
I'm very safe.
I don't know if this one categorizes or falls into the category of meat, but I've eaten crocodile.
Wow.
Yes.
No wonder your behavior sometimes getting harsh. Is the crocodile inside you?
No, but crocodile tastes like chicken.
Oh,
If
really?
I wasn't informed, I would. So it tastes like chicken and in the
Was
same
it
breath.
tough?
No, it wasn't. Very.
Where did you eat
It was
that?
in Namibia.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very weird.
I
You know, talking about economic implications and why people are opting for camel, I had a friend, his sister got married in December, but they knew she was going to get married 3 months before. And if you recall, last year, prices were very volatile.
Very
things.
true.
They were just going up and down. So they thought they were wise.
So let's delay
They
it.
bought the ram 3 months before the D-Day.
Wow.
That's how these rams started arguing and fighting. They tried to knock each other's head and die. What do you do in that situation?
We eat it immediately.
This is what that's what you put in that soundtrack. You say you're wise. They thought they were.
So did they allow the ram go like that?
They died. I mean, they had to. You can't eat food that meats that animals that
that are not
didn't bleed.
bled.
Do you know how many chicken that we are eating that we did not eat? That they did not
What
eat?
is-
All the frozen food that we're buying. Do you know how many of them? did
Olive,
not
as
eat?
long as you don't know about it,
Exactly.
it's different.
Now, lie.
you know, like
As soon as they are this thing, just quickly.
I really felt bad. They had to kill the remaining live one before it gets into an argument or something.
But why am I so stubborn?
Yeah.
Well, think about it. They saved money,
And
they
lost
planned
money.
ahead, and then they
And
That's the definition of man proposes, but God disposes.
or definition of bad investment, or
Yes,
good
yes.
investment or bad.
The Rams decided to fight themselves. Maybe they were arguing politics.
It's giving
Who knows?
it's
in,
giving
the, in the
feedback.
political realm of Rams, you know, we're all political animals.
It's giving
Yeah,
Donald
maybe
Trump
you're
and
right, Joe. I'm talking about Donald Trump and Elon Musk. What's going on? What happens to be one of our wake-up conversations this morning?
I mean,
Two
it
best
was
friends.
bound to happen. Very
Sooner than later.
influential, rich men. It's only bound that when egos go bigger, they're bound to collide. And they hit ahead yesterday when it's
of the
always
deal.
reporters. You know, this our job is very serious. They prompt, you know, pressmen would always ask questions. They probe, they prod, and then you say things that you weren't
didn't have to
expecting to say. You know, the U.S. president was with the German chancellor at the Oval Office, and they were talking about things, and it was time for questions. You should have, the journalists, you think, I mean, but at this event, they ask questions about everything. And one journalist asked President Trump that, how do you make of Elon Musk's comment that the big, beautiful bill is disgusting, is rubbish, and then, you know, typical DJT went on his tirade and said, you know, I helped him, he's this and blah, 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 and Donald Trump, and Elon Musk wasn't having it.
I heard that
had
they
to give
suspected
it
Donald
back.
Trump's Twitter account, X account.
I mean, Donald Trump posts on Truth mostly
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days,
most.
so
I mean,
he
that's
doesn't
yeah.
really care.
But what shocks me is the fact that that fight has cost Elon Musk $34 billion in one day. So he's lost a lot of money.
That's expensive fight.
$34 billion in one day. They said, I mean, stakes of his business has dropped. The final damage of days and $34 billion he raised from his personal net worth, the second largest loss ever in the history of Bloomberg Billionaires Index of the 500 wealthiest people.
But he's still the richest man in the world.
I mean, you see it, but I mean, if that continues, imagine that spiraling to 3 days, 4 days, and
You
then
know,
he
for the
started to
longest time,
lose
I
money.
thought that, no, it was just show. You know how sometimes they want to give you the
Oh, yeah,
impression
no, it
that
was real.
I did
real.
feel like it was
Yeah.
show, but then when I started to see the things that the side effects or the resultant effects of the disagreement, I then realized that it's not as much of a show as I might have thought it was.
But when you're rich, you're rich. Like Olive, what is 34 billion to a billionaire?
Because the day you both annoy me, imagine how much I'm going to lose.
Yeah,
So try to be of your best behavior, be good men.
We have to
Don't
be
annoy,
careful.
because if you annoy me, I walk out of
We
the
have
show.
to be very
But
careful.
You're going to lose a lot.
Political fight between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It
We
goes
have
to
our
show
Nigerian
that,
version of-
yes, it goes to show that even the most democratic country also have their political, you know, fiasco fight.
Yeah, this is,
here and there.
There's the argument
it's
about
more
the
of
democraticness of
it's
that.
individuals.
It's individuals.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just
Well, let's bring it down to Africa. I mean, let's narrow it
Nigeria.
down to
Yeah, that's why
former state capital.
politics
Let's narrow
is-
it down to the largest, you know, economic capital of Nigeria, and then you know, narrow it down again. That's Elon Musk saying time to drop the really big bomb. He talked about Donald Trump being in the
Epstein files and say that's the reason they've not been made public. And have a nice day, DJT. That DJT is such a cool initial, Donald J. Trump.
he said, mark this post for the future, the truth will come out. Why?
But if the truth, the question
I mean,
is,
he hasn't said anything wrong. And people kind of knew this, but they were saying in hushed tones. Donald Trump was a social acquaintance of Jeffrey Epstein in the 1990s.
Yeah.
They
And
hung
the
out
videos,
together,
they came back
attended
again.
parties and all of that. So what he's saying
And
is
he was a
not far from
bachelor
the
then,
truth.
though.
whether he's a bachelor,
Yeah, he was.
it doesn't take away the fact.
I saw a video way back, that old video coming back again, and him with the girls, you know, dancing and so on. Yeah, I don't know. But you see, when it comes to politics, it's basically like what I've seen, I mean, across the world is like you need to hit to the lowest, best way possible to hit your opponent the best way you can get them. Just try and target anyway. So you go back and dig and bring. Reminds us of, like I was saying, I was narrowing it down to one of the elections in Lagos State where one who was part of the family. I'm talking about the former governor of Lagos State, Ambody. It was time for election, for a second running. And then remember, he had to say a lot of things about the current president. He said a lot of things about the incumbent as well. He said a lot of things. And it didn't look good. I remember he mentioned, we were shocked with what he was saying right in front of the press, in the Lagos State, state governor's house. And made those remarks, and they were very strong remarks, talking about, oh, this person is a drug addict, it was this, it was that. And
I was there.
You were there, right?
Yeah.
And you were wondering, like, oh, okay, this is politics, right? But it's starting to become too personal.
Exactly. That's where you should draw a line between politics.
And we know how it ended. He didn't win the elections. And so far, so good. The friction between the former governor and the APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu
been low-key.
has not been too good. But it's starting to look like something again is rearing its ugly head within the same family. Yesterday, the president commissioned one of the very important, let's put it that way, construction work that's ongoing at the deep sea port. And he was there. He flew in his helicopter, and then you had other dignitaries who also were there. And the president gave a speech. Two things were taken from that speech. Number one, the president congratulated the Minister of Works for the good job he's doing. And then he highlighted that the Minister of Works should ignore anybody that is talking anyhow about him, taking them away from the road, destroying their properties, name them, and so he says he should ignore. Anybody who does not like what he's doing should go to Idumota. Secondly, he also mentioned clearly that, and this is good for all real estate developers, he mentioned that anybody that's on the right of way, anybody that is encroaching on these capital projects and so on.
And anybody that is building artificial islands.
Thank you. Artificial islands.
Because we have all sorts of islands these days.
Exactly.
Pineapple Island, Mango, Guava.
In short, I even had one.
Oh my God.
Island. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know how true that is, but he now wants anybody. Now, you can't do that any longer. You must get the rights, approvals, certificates, and so on. And I applaud Mr. President for that.
I also applaud him for one thing.
Go ahead.
For being a listening president and not disrupting traffic by using the presidential helicopter.
Yes. So. Yes, that was good, because yesterday there was no traffic. We moved freely. So he made all those statements, and there you see him walking in. I like the fact that he was wearing, take a look, his the not shoes, you could say.
Sneakers.
Yes, the sneakers. And
they look like Skechers. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to give that brand free ad.
But there you have him, and he made those statements. Now, one thing was conspicuous, one thing was missing. We did not see the Lagos State governor there. He was not around.
Maybe he was attending to other pressing issues of state.
Maybe he wasn't well. After all, the president couldn't make it to Mokwa local government area of Niger State, where loads of Nigerians had died because of the flash floods. But he sent the vice president. The same breath, maybe the executive governor of Lagos State could not be there for several other reasons.
But I mean,
and then he sent the governor.
There was no, you just said something, there was a recognition by the vice president or the president, but there was no recognition of the state.
No, there was a...
But I think you mentioned the deputy governor. I think the deputy governor was present.
Yeah, the president made reference to deputy governor in a number of his interactions. He said, I thank God the deputy governor is here, and then he said giving all those warnings about the approvals and all those illegal estates.
Nigerians are also worried that this is looking like a fallout.
Yeah, because it's very unusual.
Yes, it's unusual.
It's the president's home state, and then the governor, the chief.
Are you saying that the governor is too busy or leave?
It's Ella that caused it.
Is
it's because of Ella. So that, I don't know if you saw the clip where...
Mr. President was too busy, and lots of people around.
And
like this morning, I didn't really see you. I just wanted to say hi to my homeboy.
How are you? Good to see you.
To my homeboy Joe.
How are you? Yes, good. And then the next person, I just pass. I move.
It may be an oversight.
No, but this thing's happened.
It may have been an oversight. Maybe.
No, like what I do. Trying to really understand what could have happened.
It could have been that the president and the governor, it's his home state. So the governor may have already officially welcomed the president before they've had interactions. Like, I've already No, I don't already shake your hand before. Make I go shake another person's
No, the
hand.
president doesn't do that, too.
How do you know? Are you the
The
president?
president-
Are you the PA or
this
the
president-
You would
SSA?
acknowledge
President,
every time you see
know
them.
why I like this president? He always
VIPs.
acknowledges anybody he knows. So if he sees you, you know, an old clip came out of a former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, where the current president stood up to even greet him, and the former Senate President passed him and didn't shake him and moved on. And people said, there are other videos that came out that showed the same president, our current president, who, if he sees you, he always hails you. Hey,
But what are the implications for Lagos State? Because this is, I mean, there's no smoke without a fire. We're just trying to
Which
infer
implication?
they're taking it back to the
2 more years of governance.
Yeah, 2 more.
If the president is not in good terms with the governor of his home state, how is he meant to do his work?
Olive.
It would be a distraction. And they belong
People
to the
that are
same
busy
party.
doing election preparations, people that are worried about. I think
Olive, they just constituted the. I hope my memory serves me well. I saw that story 48
if it doesn't serve you well, you serve it well.
where they just constituted the team for the elections that are to be held in 2027 in Lagos State as well. And then you wonder that you also have the presence of the Lagos State governor. When the bridge issue came up, we all remember what happened, where the minister came. First of all, the governor came and
There
said,
was a synergy in communication, yeah.
There was no synergy in communication. So it started, it's like from the fallout of the Obasa issue and Miranda, we are starting to see a lot of loopholes back and forth and fights going on here and there. And now it's starting to trickle down to the issues that are coming out from, what happened here, and then you can't pinpoint where it's leading to. And then this is a big one. I mean, Olive,
And there's no
deep sea
official
port,
communication from the APC representatives, the APC spokesperson, to say, look, there's no rift, because if you are silent about issues like this, you leave.
You are too quick.
You leave room for
the explanation will
speculation.
come
Members of the
today.
press.
It
See,
will come
it's because we
today.
care.
You are too quick.
It's because we
You
care.
are too quick. Is it not just yesterday?
What time should we expect it?
Today. Bad as it bad, 12 noon.
celebration.
Okay.
Just because they are more concerned about the layer. Today I'll be Eid. Today is Eid layer.
And Mr. President has been in Lagos.
Yeah, so there's a lot of celebrations. You know, I don't know why we're making a mountain out of a molehill.
You see, we're just concerned. You know,
Concerned
if you
about
notice,
the welfare of
if you
our
notice,
governor
see, we started
and
this story,
state of
we
our
took it from back, from the time of former governor Ambode. We took it from back and we brought it down here. It just shows that Nigerians, Lagosians, let me use the word, Lagosians are worried. Go online, everybody's talking about that, what's going on. So as pressmen, it's our job to ensure that we highlight some of these things and then see where they link to. And hopefully, maybe, we can find the answers to that.
Absolutely, because governance has to go on. There's so many things that are in Lagos that need to work, like street lights.
You know what we're saying? Why you're making that much of a big deal
Lagos
again?
I almost ran into a ditch, a very big one.
That's terrible.
This morning.
I mean, it's not. People, when we talk about street lights, it's not for aesthetic values. It's health and safety and security. These street lights are not decorations. It's really, really sad that a state like Lagos State that boasts of the huge amount of revenue it generates cannot provide something as basic as street lights. So we call on the authorities to please. It's been months on end to do something about it. And when I talk about street lights, I'm not saying people in Ijegun do deserve street lights in every corner of Lagos because they pay their taxes. But when you see the road leading to kilometer 1 of the Lagos-Calabar superhighway, that's Amadu Bello Way, it's not even lit. Akadeshola, major roads are not lit, then, I mean, it tells you what to expect. The roads, Mobolaji Bank Anthony, that leads to the airport, Ikeja, in the capital of Lagos, Lekki Aja, is not lit. So, I mean, if you don't do the basics, then...
I mean, I know for the past 3 months ago, coming towards this area, I was really using the stadium axis / Ujolegba. I loved it when the lights on Ujolegba, when they come on. I loved it. It was beautiful. As early as 4:35, let's say 5:30 a.m., once the lights come on, along that popular Ojolegba / Yaba, axis, and going back to Surulere and so on, I loved it. It was very good. It was beautiful. You feel safe even driving and walking around.
Yeah, you don't need to use your
But when it's dark, problem.
Again,
Because you don't see the ditches in front of you. It's not like the roads are in such an
and
excellent state.
if the street lights were, if we had street lights as we ought to have, driving at night would not be such a Herculean task. Because when you're driving at night in Lagos, you have to then put on your full lights. The people coming opposite, their full lights are on. They are blinding me, I'm blinding them.
My
It's
light,
just a really
my
chaotic
light is
situation.
better than yours.
Yeah.
I better pass my neighbor.
And then
But if the street lights were on, you just need to turn on your lights without putting on your full, full lights. So yes,
and it's gotten into
important.
us so bad that as Nigerians, we don't even understand that you don't need to use your full light.
Exactly.
We don't understand that in saner climes, yes, let's use the word saner climes, where things are done
In
appropriately,
Cotonou.
you don't use your full light.
I need to go to
when you're
Cotonou,
driving.
actually.
You don't use your full light. You just put on your light and then you move because there's street lights. And then in driving, they teach you that you do not use your full light, just like you said, because you
You're
could
blinding
disturb
the
the
other
view
person.
of the other person coming from the other lane.
But you know why?
It's so bad that we don't even know what
I
that
don't
is.
usually use my full light at night. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm the light of the world.
Okay, on that note, we'll move on to
Maybe you
other
need something
pressing
in
matters.
Other person matters. I hear that DJs stand a risk a jail term for playing music without license.
Playing Davido, they'll go to jail.
So if you're playing without a license, and
I mean, what sort of license are we talking about?
So it might-
license of the song owner, copyright,
so that's the thing. I
or
don't have
license to DJ.
I don't have the full picture of what it is, right? But I did speak to
DJ Chicken?
No, I spoke to a DJ who spoke to me on the condition of anonymity, and he gave me his feedback. But just to run you through the story, it says NCC warns DJs against performing music in public without license. They are saying that engaging in any of these acts without the owner's authorization constitutes an infringement under the act. The Director General of NCC, John Asen, gave the warning in an advisory issued on Wednesday in Abuja. So before you play the video, Shepe, you would have gotten
public to a public gathering.
Yes.
Like Joe, in the NBA, they play songs at the arenas and stadiums, but I believe they have a licensing
to play those songs.
agreement because you're playing to a mass, to high numbers of people.
So this is
if you're
basically
going on a
under
road
the
show, and you carry your banner and you're dancing up and down, so you need to talk to Davido before you play a song.
So this is under Section 9 and 12 of the Copyright Act 2022. Says the owner of a copyright in a musical work or sound recording has the exclusive right to reproduce, perform, or communicate it to the public. And engaging in any of these acts without the owner's authorization constitutes an infringement under the Act. Then they go further to say that such an infringement may constitute a civil wrong or a criminal offense under Section 44, subsection 7, punishable upon conviction by a fine of not less than 1 million naira or imprisonment for a term of not less than 5 years or both.
I'm sure this law has been there since. They're just
now trying to.
highlighting it.
So let me
Did we just build new prisons that we don't know about?
that want to put more people
These
inside.
days they're just looking for ways to jail people and fine people.
let me refer to some of the public performances they are talking about. So they say the public performance of music by a DJ, whether at hotels, event centers, clubs, gardens, or recreational facilities, constitutes both a public performance and a communication to the public of the musical work and sound recording as provided for under the Act. He advised them to obtain appropriate licenses and pay royalties to the approved collective management organization prior to engaging in such performances. So for avoidance of doubt, the approved CMO for musical works and sound societies in Nigeria is the Musical Copyright Society of Nigeria, MCSN.
Fantastic initiative. I mean, you can't be ripping off other people's works. And it's good that we protect intellectual property. So
my own question is, it's not about the...
What about silent disco? Does it apply?
That one's empty.
What about what?
Very valid. Silent disco. Where you're wearing the headphones and everyone can hear you. Everybody. So the thing is the applicability of the law, and that's not saying, of course, that the work of an artist that their copyright should not be protected. I think it's very important.
It's the enforcement mechanism.
Yes. How do we ensure that we want to enforce
compliance?
This? You go to a cartoon, and on that bar where they are using on Friday night to chill out.
Do you know if they're going to enforce this decision? You know where we have the most concentration of DJs in Lagos? You just mentioned it, Ikotu and Agege, small doctor's side.
Everybody. So if you're a DJ, please let us know what your thoughts are.
Does this apply to DJ Copy?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she's a DJ.
She's no more.
I spoke with a DJ on the condition of anonymity, and he says that this is not the first time they've tried to introduce it. He talked about how, of course, a number of DJs had pushed back against this because they just felt, from the DJ standpoint, they feel like it's not their responsibility to pay, but it's for the recreational center. So, for example, a club, you are always going to have DJs. So the club should be the one to pay,
exactly.
Right? And then they'll factor it into their charge to, whoever their client
upcoming artists will not like this because
let me wait for you guys when you are done.
We are done.
Okay.
I'm almost done, but imagine DJ exclusive in.
You that you want to start your musical career.
Okay, go.
How are the DJs going to?
So this is not the first time.
Yeah.
This has come up. I recall when I was active as a radio presenter, what they call OAP now, and then we're playing music. You have a body called COSON, okay? And what COSON does is they collect
Copyright Society
Organization of Nigeria. They collect money for whether you're an artist, performing artist, recording, name it. Stations are supposed to pay royalties. So back then, I had also joined some of the COSON meetings. I used to go for their meetings back then. I was / entertainment reporter then. So I would go for their meetings. There was an argument. The argument, was lingering between should we charge 1 naira per play? Per play. So for instance, if this is News Central Radio, as long as Benga is saying this is a brand new song from Davido and he plays it, the station will pay 1 naira. If that Davido song is played 4 times the entire day, that's 4 naira. So what happens is Davido gets royalties. Now imagine 4 naira per day times 50 stations pan Nigeria. Davido is going to make royalties from his song. Now that's how it's done abroad.
Yes.
So your musicians abroad, everybody, they also get royalties from their songs. Hence why when they retire, Elon Richie has retired, his account balance is always going up, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Of course, but the only thing is, you know how it works there. As it's going up, tax. They take their tax, they take this, the recording label, but you are certain that you can't. So when artists say, I've gone bankrupt, it's not really like they've gone bankrupt. It's just that they don't have that money they used to have where they can live that lavish lifestyle, but it's now very minimal, it's small. So COSON had this conversation. Then you had, of course, the one you mentioned, what's it called, MCM. So all these bodies are there to ensure that they regulate this. But it didn't fly. Why? Because even the radio station where I worked and they wanted to mandate and enforce it, the station said, okay, a rule was given at the station, don't play Nigerian songs any longer. And then we stopped for 1 week. What were we playing? Foreign songs.
And did you pay for your
Yes, of course, because you had to pay for the CD. I don't know if you remember the yellow, the red, the blue.
They have not bought me that time.
Okay. But for those who are, the OAPs, then even on radio station now they understand. I don't want to mention the name.
She was also an OAP. We work together.
Oh, okay, I see. So you have those CDs. You pay for them. They ship them in. So you have them. They have like top 100 songs across the globe. So that's in that way. When you pay for those CDs, indirectly, of course, it comes from the same record labels. Yeah. So and those CDs go all over the world. Now, this one is coming up, and they're saying going forward, you need to pay before you play the songs of DJ. Guess what, Binga? We're going to have instrumentals. People will be dancing to instrumentals. Because by the time
instrumentals too need license.
No, people will create their own instrumentals. Like Amapiano is big, so people would rather take a South African Amapiano instrumentals. I'm a big fan of South African songs, so I can bet you that they will play it back to back for 4 hours.
I will go back to they started infusing drums in clubs.
Exactly. Yeah. But you now made the point, which I agree with you. This is not good for up and coming artists.
Because they're going to the station will be asking, why are you playing this person's song so much? Why do I have to pay so much to be able to promote their song.
And
unless
back
someone
then,
outrightly waive copyright.
and just to add, back then, some of the popular artists did not agree to it. They still came back after the agreement was met. They came back and said, no, because in our culture, in the broadcast music culture, it's about how you play the song.
The Nigerian situation is dynamic. You can't just
is.
copy and paste, oh, this is the way it's done in other climes, let's do it here.
You have to
and
find
we
what's
always
applicable
have
here.
this culture of trying to do that, especially when it comes to, you know, taking money. Why don't you copy, oh, this is the standard the universities are and other climes we want to do it. This is the standard of hospitals, let's do it. This is the standard of transportation. But when it comes to sucking money with a straw,
So,
we want to do like
in their
other climes.
defense,
With a long straw.
in their defense, they're not really sucking the money. They want to ensure that these artists get rewarded. Because they know that you people are not doing shows again as much as before for the artists to come and perform. So they're protecting the artists now and protecting them in the future so that even when they retire.
Mechanisms,
Because some of these artists,
monitoring, there's so many issues.
and some of them are even like one-hit wonder. So by the time they've maybe had one hit or one album that hits, they go into relegation and we don't hear from them for a while. So that they can get royalties.
One-hit wonders. After the Salah show, I'm going home to dance. Baby, do not a collabo. I want a collabo.
Who is that guy?
That was old. So you're not old, right?
One-hit wonder.
What?
AY Dot.
I can't even remember his
think
name. That's how serious it is. Oh wow, there's a number of them, but I'm
Joe,
glad.
remember, it was from his heydays as
No, I mean,
OG.
I must be honest, I promoted all those songs way back. That was my time.
To my floor, cause you know I got the dough.
Worldly song, full your head, my
Always.
sister.
Please, today is a holy day. I'm not seeing any worldly
Worldly
song.
songs on a holy
It's a
day.
holy day.
I mean, it's good that, I like
holy
the fact
day
that
of
before we go
celebration.
into the business of the day, we like we always say, Nigerian stories or some of the stories we have for you can sometimes weaken.
I want to encourage those who are going to buy RAM today. So I
And
watch
today,
it
these are our own way of also compensating ourselves.
that are working on public holidays.
Exactly.
Speaking of public holidays,
Let's
there is a
relax.
report that shows that Nigerians get, is it 41 or 47 holidays a year?
Are you doing a drawing board on that?
I should look at that.
But we're going to discuss it on the show today. Nigerians get over 40 holidays a year.
That's huge.
And guess who doesn't get these holidays?
Broadcasters.
Essential staff. Yes. So
We, the police, fire service,
doctors,
doctors.
the number of us that
Police
don't get it.
officers.
Yeah.
So when you see us on the streets,
Squeeze a little bit of something.
respect us and
No,
pay
no.
us tribute.
Squeezing is...
No, be careful. Let's understand.
Let me rephrase. Squeezing is, well done, thank you. If somebody tells me,
Okay,
oh,
squeeze
thank
the handshake.
you. Yeah, well done.
Because you have to be careful in Nigeria. You see, there's a new one. They say they just push me forward.
I've not heard
just-
that.
I've not heard that one.
They say just put your hand in your
Mobilization
pocket,
fee.
Oga, and just push me forward. Push you where am I pushing you to?
Okay.
Say you don't understand.
Encourage me,
Just
sir.
encourage me.
Enough of the joke and the banter. We want to say that you can be a part of the show. All you need to do is
Absolutely.
go on YouTube at News Central TV. Drop your comments in the chat box. As the show progresses, we'll visit YouTube and pick a few comments from there. I've seen somebody, Chukwemeka, mind yourself. Chukwemeka says that I should not try to sugarcoat it, that they gave our governor a laugh. Please allow me to play devil's advocate in peace, even though our governor is not the devil here. But thank you so much for watching and for engaging us in the chat box. To those who also want to tweet at us individually, you can tweet at Joe Hansen, tweet at me at Olive Emodi and Benga Bora. We'll be glad to engage with you during the course of the show. Let's now share with you what our top stories are this morning.